Hey everyone, I'm back and today we're going to be talking about Batman Returns, this one right here. And this movie is once again directed by Tim Burton and stars Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer, and it's a sequel to Batman 1989, and where the story pretty much takes place is, it takes place in Christmas, and Danny DeVito plays the Penguin, and he pretty much terrorizes the city. And there's 3 villains in the movie, technically. And this movie is a bit of a mess. The positives for this movie is the production design. A lot of the acting's pretty good. Christopher Walken, he's pretty funny in this movie. I mean, his character's an idiot, and it does kind of play off that, and it doesn't overuse that joke, which is something that I like about it. And Michelle Pfeiffer, I think she's good. She's a little over the top, but I think that's more to do with the direction the movie took her character. Michael Keaton, I still like. Danny DeVito, once again, kind of over the top, but that's more to do with the direction, I feel, than anything else. And really, where my problems with this movie come from are the script. The story here is really stupid, and as goofy as the first movie got, which it does get pretty goofy at times, it at least kind of works for that movie because you have an over-the-top character like Jack Nicholson, and his performance is great, and that character is crazy in that movie, and it was kind of a mix between lighthearted, goofy stuff and dark comic book stuff, or whatever you want to call it, and a dark realistic take. Not quite Christopher Nolan stuff. Here they tried to do that again. However, I feel it worked better in the first movie, because in this movie things are goofy, like the first movie. However, it's much darker than the first movie because of how things are presented, and not necessarily with how things are eventually shown or executed, but just the ideas of some of the things that are going on. And the Penguin literally is trying to kill children in this movie and just drown them. And another thing that I want to mention about this movie is that in the first movie, it's very clear of what the tone is. Kind of dark sometimes, kind of goofy at times. When the jokes come, I'm laughing with the movie. Here, it's definitely laughing at the movie, and for this movie, I can take a decent amount of it seriously, but there are moments where I'm laughing at the movie, and that's not really a good sign. And there are a couple jokes that work, intentional jokes that work, but unfortunately, most of the laughs that I get from this movie are unintentional, just because of some of the performances that are kind of over the top, and it's kind of difficult to take things seriously in a movie that is half taking itself seriously, half not really. And sure, there are movies that can pull that off, pull off both a dark tone and a lighthearted tone at the same movie, like, say, the Evil Dead movies. Especially Evil Dead 2, where it mixes horror and comedy, and those two tones work very well in that movie. This movie, I don't think it works as well, and I'm not really sure as to what that is. And also, there are some things in this movie that don't really make sense in terms of how they work. For instance, Batman has like this little batarang thing or whatever, and how it works, it's remote controlled. You just push it on the thing, and you just throw it, and it just hits these certain people in a specific order. The tone for this movie is just completely lost on me, and I just don't know what I'm supposed to be taking seriously and what I'm not. Going back to positives, I do like the relationship between Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle. I think that's one of the stronger points of the movie for me. Whenever it was those two characters on screen, it was working a lot more for me, and I haven't even talked about the music for this movie. It's really great. I really love the score for this movie. Danny Elfman's score for this movie, I think he did the score for the first movie, and he did the score for this movie, and it's still great. I really like the part where Selina Kyle is creating her Catwoman costume, and the music in that scene works so well. I love the Catwoman theme. And there's loads of great themes throughout that are new in this movie that I really like. There's one other thing that I kind of want to mention that this movie is kind of being criticized for, and that would be that this movie isn't really a Batman movie. It's Tim Burton just doing whatever he wants because he was given freedom to do whatever he wanted for this movie. Do I feel that way about this movie? That it's more of a Tim Burton movie than a Batman movie? Yeah. Would I say Tim Burton ruined this movie? No. I don't think he did. I think he added a lot of creativity to this movie, and I like Tim Burton. And he's the reason why the first movie worked, I feel. And in this movie, he makes his own thing for sure, and it just doesn't always succeed. That would be my criticism. One thing that I kind of want to mention that stood out to me, even on my first viewing, this doesn't really feel too much of a sequel. It references the first one a couple times with Vicky Vale in a couple lines of dialogue, but that's about it. It's not a negative or a positive, it's just something that I noticed when I first watched this movie. And if you were to watch this movie and not have seen the first movie, I don't think you would be lost on anything really. But I do feel as though the first movie was better than this movie. So in the end, Batman Returns, it has its problems. It's not as good as the first movie, and I don't hate this movie. It does get a little boring at times, and I'm mostly laughing at the movie whenever it's humor. And the tone is all over the place, but I do feel as though there are good elements to this movie. And it wasn't a painful experience for me, and would I rewatch this movie? Yeah, I would rewatch it. I mean, it is still kind of fun for me to watch. It's not as good as the first movie. I would definitely watch the first movie over this movie, but I still think this movie has value. And I would recommend you check it out, and I'm going to give Batman Returns a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Batman Returns down below, and my social media links, they will all be in the description down below, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up. And I'm kind of taking a risk on this one. I've never seen this movie before. And that's going to be for Paul Thomas Anderson's There Will Be Blood, starring Daniel Day-Lewis. I've never seen it, and I would like to watch it. It's been on my watch list for a long time now, and now I'm going to watch it. But until I get that up, thank you for watching, and have a great day.